1. That's the D final, and the riders here are in it really for the money and the Grand Prix placings. Andy Smith just 2 points to his name so far tonight, desperately needs to get a placing here. In the yellow and black is Josh Larson in his qualifying heats without a point in his first Grand Prix. Injury kept him out of the early ones, politics from the last. In red there, Henrik Gustafsson, somewhat surprisingly finding himself in this D final because he's been among the higher point scorers and he started so well. Gustafsson on the inside, Stakeman from Denmark in gate 2, Andy Smith from England gate 3, Josh Larson from the United States, he's on the outside. This is the D final, they're racing for pride and money. Here they go from the inside. In red it's Henrik Gustafsson, going round him is Andy Smith. Smith loses it, locks up and falls. Real disappointment perhaps reflecting for the night really for the Englishman, but no such problems out front. Henrik Gustafsson on his previous Grand Prix showings is certainly worth the lead in this heat, pursued by the man in the blue helmet colours there, Jan Stakeman. Trailed off almost is Josh Larson, but Henrik Gustafsson really only has to complete 4 laps here surely to earn what will be for him 13th place in the Grand Prix, first place in this, the D final. Henrik Gustafsson is out there on his own, it's processional now. Back in second place, Jan Stakeman. Back in third place is Josh Larson. Andy Smith has packed up altogether. No such problems, though, for Henrik Gustafsson. He's going to earn some money here. He's going to earn some valuable Grand Prix points to keep him in the running. He needs to finish, of course, in the first 8 this year if he's going to retain his Grand Prix place without having to qualify for next year, and this could well help it. In red, Henrik Gustafsson wins it ahead of Jan Stakeman. We're still waiting, and now coming across the line is Josh Larson. Andy Smith, of course, taking a tumble and nowhere, but Henrik Gustafsson certainly pleased with that one.
If you watch the start here, you can see Andy Smith in the white helmet. He's made the best start he's made all day, really, and he leads going into the first corner, but I think they've actually graded the track and perhaps pulled the dirt back to a different place, and Andy perhaps hasn't read it well enough, and down he goes. That's very unfortunate. But you can see it here from another angle. You can see Gustafsson there on the inside with his finger playing with that clutch on the left side there. Just got enough speed to get to the corner, and really, he shouldn't be in this D final. He's certainly far better material than that, and he's shown how easy it is to win that one for a rider of his capability.
Andy Smith, though, going right round and taking a perler. So ends Andy Smith's Danish Grand Prix. On now to Heat 22. This, the C final. The man in white there, Lars Gunnestad, the wild card who surprised a few here. 6 points in the qualifiers here, finishing 11th to earn this place in this, the C final. In red there is Craig Boyce, 2 heat wins to his name among his 8 points tonight, the man in the red helmet colours. On the inside, Craig Boyce from Australia, Mark Aram from England, Lars Gunnestad from Norway, Marvin Cox from England. He's on the outside. They're racing for points, they're racing for money, and they're racing for pride, but not the big placings here. It is, though, vital for these lads in the Grand Prix standings. This is Heat 22. It's the C final. The starting marshal moves away. Once again, the gate could be important. Who makes it? The man on red on the inside, Craig Boyce. He's going to be chased round the outside. The battle goes on. Mark Duran, but Boyce holds him off. Boyce in 2 of his heat victories here, or his 2 heat victories tonight, has ridden just like this, and he's going to hold it where it matters, surely, because if he wins this one, money and Grand Prix points will abound, and they will certainly help his standings. Craig Boyce ahead of Mark Duran. Back in white is Lars Gunnestad. Trailing at the rear is Marvin Cox, but Boyce is riding in the right place at the right time, Peter.
Yes, he is, isn't he? But he's got a tiger on his tail there with Mike Laram, and Boyce seems to have the best line, though, on the track, but look at that, he's run very, very wide, made a drastic mistake there and allowed Laram to go by, and Laram now leads.
Mark Aram out front with Craig Boyce in second place, Lars Gunnestad third. Boyce's confidence going, the challenge coming in from Gunnestad. Aram more than happy, I'm sure, to be out front and counting up the points and counting up the money. Mark Aram is pursued by Craig Boyce and Lars Gunnestad, but Mark Aram is going to take the points here. There goes the checkered flag. He looks down at his engine. Valuable points there for Mark Aram to earn him pride of place and victory in this, the C final. Mark Aram acknowledges his colleagues, his competitors, and his fans alike.
Well, you know, Mark had a real piece of luck there, didn't he? I mean, I think there was no way he was going to catch Craig Boyce. Craig Boyce had got the race sewn up, and you can see Laram there in the blue helmet. He gets pushed quite wide there by Boyce, and Boyce goes clear, pushes Mark far too wider than he should be, and he's now concerned about the riders going by him, especially the rider there in white. But Boyce seems to now be in complete control of this race. And the track's being graded actually, so it's changed quite a bit, but Lorem's in pursuit, but you can see there Boyce makes a drastic mistake and allows the ram to go back, and he grabs the chance with both hands.
And that earns Mark Laram 9th place on the night, and certainly valuable Grand Prix points. It's getting late for some, it's getting late for all of us here. It's been a long, long night, but here we go for the B final, and this again is where points count. Greg Hancock's the man in white, the number 4 on his forks. The American who's done so well this evening. Tommy Knudsen there in the blue helmet colours. A shade disappointing for him. He'd hoped to make the final. Billy Hamill's on the inside in the red helmet colours. The man in yellow there is Chris Louis. Chris Louis with 9 points in the qualifying heats, perhaps only just missing out on what could have been the A final for him. But even less luck for Billy Hamill and Tommy Knudsen, because their Grand Prix standings mean that their 10 points was not enough to qualify them for the final, although others with it have. Here we go. Vital for them too. On the inside, Billy Hamill, a big bunch there. The man in white, Greg Hancock, takes the lead. Tailed off at the back is Tommy Knudsen. Disappointing for him. In yellow and black, they're going down the back straight. Chris Louis once again picks up speed. It's going well for Louis at this stage of the meeting, Peter.
It is. It's great to see Louis in front. We've just seen Mark Lorem win the race before, and now we've got Chris Louis there in winning one of the finals. And Tommy Knudsen, one of his main rivals in that, got a real nasty knock on the first turn and certainly put him out of contention, but it's really just what we need. It's nice to see the English lads doing well again.
Well, Chris Louis certainly picking up speed here, picking up speed when it counted. His last couple of rides, he's looked really, really good in the meeting. Perhaps it all came together too late for him because he fell in his first race of the night and that affected him. But no looking back now. Chris Louis certainly looking set for 3rd place in the Grand Prix standings come the end of tonight, with only Rickardson and Nielsen, whichever way round they finish, in front of him. But there in yellow and black is Chris Louis. Certainly he's going to take the checkered flag here. Yes, the waving of the flag greets Chris Louis. Valuable points, valuable dollars for him. Ahead of in 2nd place Greg Hancock, 3rd Billy Hamill. So it's England in front of 2 Americans in this, the B final, and disappointment for Tommy Knudsen back in last place. He never really looked like it from the start, Pete.
No, he gets sandwiched here. Look at Knudsen there in the blue helmet. He seems to be getting the real rough end of the deal. He's completely squashed there. His front wheel hits the back wheel of the rider in white there, and he's now completely travelling in the wrong direction. You can see it there from another angle. He disappears off the picture and into last place. But just look at Chris Louis going round the outside there. Loads of grip. 15 Grand Prix points for him. That's marvellous for the English lad.
Yes, Chris Louis certainly earning his corn where it mattered, and really the start proved important, and he showed his qualities here in every way, I think, Peter.
Yes, he did. You can see Knudsen there in trouble, but look at him again there. Louis really got a nice run, using all that dirt, just as all those top lads are doing today, and he's clear. Great.
These guys certainly earned their money tonight, there's no doubt about that. Simon, the D final, Andy Smith really found himself in front. All went wrong.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Andy. You know, he's really been trying hard, and you know, got in front, made the start he wanted to, but then found the inside of the track was very, very greasy, and you know, nearly, well, I mean, spun round there and lost it. Very unfortunate for him.
Overexcited for him, do you think, finding himself in that D final? I mean, it would have been nice for him to pick up 7 points.
Yeah, of course it would, but the track is very greasy there now, and the boys are putting new tyres on so they can get away from the start quickly, but the very hard, sharp blocks mean that as you go into the corner, you haven't got any contact with the ground. Very greasy until you get to the outside dirt line, so that's really where they're all heading, but until you get to that dirt and get across the corner into the drivey area, you haven't really got any drive, and Andy was actually trying to change direction on the slippery bit, I think, and lost it all there. Very unfortunate.
If he continues like this, we'll all be out of ride speedway bikes, won't we? Barry, the C final saw Chris Louis. In fact, it saw Mark Laram win the C final. Now, that's a great ride from him, picking up the most points he possibly can in that particular final. Good ride, too, from him, I think, tonight.
Yeah, it was, but he had a bit of luck. Boise made a very good start off the inside start, did 3 laps, and then got caught between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Wasn't sure whether ride inside, outside, missed the corner completely. Big gap from Mark. Mark steamed through for a good win, but Boise had it sewn up, but he blew it.
Got to have a bit of luck, though, haven't you?
You've got to have a bit of luck.
Talking of luck, Chris Louis, well, that was all getting a bit tight, Jason, wasn't it, in the B final? We saw Chris Louis manage to break away through it, but let's take a look at the start here, if we can, because I want you to talk us through this, if you would, because it is very, very bunchy, isn't it?
Yeah, as you can see, Hamill's lifted a little bit and pushed Knudsen out into the back wheel of Greg Hancock, and Chris Louis had a very good run around there on the outside of the dirt, and he's just glided past Hancock.
Do you think Tommy Knudsen will be a bit upset at perhaps ending up in the B final, even though he'd scored really enough points? We covered it before.